Well, it's another Valentine's Day, and it's that time of year where I always ask the question, why? Why? Why do we need a day of the year to do something we should be doing every day of the year? Why? Well, besides the obvious, for the business income, for the chocolate companies, the romantic card companies, and the flower companies, keep those corporate guys rich. What is the reason? Well, guess what? Just like all the great, crazy holidays we celebrate, it has a pagan past. I'm afraid to tell you, yes, pagan past. So put on your tin hats and your historian goggles because we are going deep, 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 deep into the esoteric origins of Saint Valentine's Day. First, like all of the other popular celebrations, St. Valentine's Day comes to us from our pagan past. And like most pagan celebrations, was bastardized by the Christian church to make you believe that Christians were everything. The Christian church story goes something like this. A man named Valentine was executed by Roman Emperor Claudius II after being imprisoned for assisting persecuted Christians and secretly marrying Christian couples in love. Well, now there are no historical records for this, as in with the other stories of the baby Jesus and all that. And I don't have a problem with Christianity, don't get me wrong. I just have a problem with history that's been fed to us that isn't true. That's all. Now, this is the spiritual side of Christianity. I love. You guys rock. The church side, you know my beliefs on that. Anyway. So, and furthermore, but if I may, even the modern Christian church says, hey, you should not celebrate St. Valentine's Day because it has a pagan origin. According to History.com, today's Valentine celebration is with us because in the late 5th century, Pope Gelasius I eliminated the pagan celebration of Lupercalia and dedicated February 14th, a day to celebrate the martyrdom of Saint Valentine. Yes, just as they had done with the winter solstice, Pope Gelasius I decided to do the same with the Feast of Lupercalia and use it as a church-building event. So he used it as a church-building event. Because that's what they would do back then. All the pagans would be celebrating these certain times of year, harvest, moon, solstice, whatever. And so then all the church people, they came down there, with their pamphlets and everything and said, hey, no, you're not here. Why are you here? And they go, oh, well, I'm here because of Lupercius. And they go, well, no, actually, this is a St. Valentine's Day. So this was because of a saint. And the message kept going to where children of children of children didn't even know the truth. Even though their parents did, they said, okay, well, if we want to eat, we got to go with this story. Even though it's really a winter solstice celebration. Anyway, you know the story. I've talked about it here on esotericdaily.com. I'm not dogging any religion, but truth is truth. And until we deal with the truth, we're not going to be dealing with anything, ever. Now, okay, so Pope Gelasius I decided to make the Feast of Lupercalia a church-building event, which, if you were a goat, was a good thing, and you're going to see why right here. The pagan roots of Valentine's Day are from the Feast of Lupercalia celebration, where Roman men sacrificed goats and used the goat skin to whip women in the belief that it would make them more fertile. Now, why would they beat women to make them more fertile? Good question. Where's the correlation? It's got to make sense, right? It's got to be something factual, because if you're going to beat women to make them more fertile, man, you're going to have, biblical type stuff to deal with, right? Wrong. Well, according to Roman history, the ancient king Aemilius ordered Romulus and Remus, his twin nephew and founders of Rome, to be thrown into the Tiber River to drown in retribution for their mother having broken her vow of celibacy. That's right. That's right. The king came home drunk one night and violated her, and then he persecutes her for losing her virginity that he took away from her. She was supposed to stay celibate, but she lost it. She couldn't fight back his temptation. Wow, that never changes, does it? Continuing with the pagan version of St. Valentine's Day, a servant took pity on the brothers and placed them inside a basket on the river, where the river god carried the basket to a wild fig tree, where it became caught in the branches. The brothers were then rescued and cared for by a she-wolf, the animal she-wolf, not shikara. Make that distinction right now. I don't want to get sued. The twins were later adopted by a shepherd and his wife and learned their father's trade. After killing the uncle who had ordered their death, they found the cave and den of the she-wolf, and they named it Lupercal. Lupercal. They named it Lupercal. Lupercalifragistic, Aspialidocious, something like that. But no, it was just Lupercal. It's thought Lupercalia took place to honor the she-wolf and please the Roman fertility god Lupercus. Lupercalia rituals took place in a few places originally. Lupercal Cave, on Valentine Hill, and within the Roman walls within the open-air coliseums. The festival began at Lupercal Cave with the sacrifice of one or more male goats, which is a representation of sexuality, and a dog. Always a dog. If you go back to these sacrifices they did back then, there's a dog in there somewhere. Yeah, that's why there are pets now, because they know that we are damn tough. We don't mess around with animals. The sacrifices were performed by Luperci, a group of Roman priests. Afterwards, the foreheads of two naked Luperci were smeared with the animal's blood. The blood was then removed with a piece of milk-soaked wool as the Luperci laughed. Ha ha ha. He laughed as they removed the blood. It's all part of the game. In ancient Rome, feasting began after the ritual sacrifice, where they ran naked, whipping any woman within striking distance with the thongs of the goat meat. That's right, they took the goat meat and they whipped women. They chased them and whipped them to make them more fertile. Makes sense, perfectly good sense. During Lupercalia, the men randomly chose a woman's name from a jar to be coupled with them for the duration of the festival. Often, the couple stayed together for the whole year. Many fell in love and married. You see a pattern there? Hence Valentine's Day. Pagans, Valentine's Day, beat woman with goat skin, marry woman. Makes sense. Makes perfectly good sense to me. Over time, the nakedness during Lupercalia lost popularity, and women were whipped on their hands by fully clothed men. It got a little bit more civilized. And then, of course, then the Christian church took over and totally cleaned it up. And I do thank them for that, because let's not kill any more goats or whip any more women. That was nice. That was nice. Thank y'all. So there you have the ancient origins of St. Valentine's Day. Now, needless to say, I won't be giving out any flowers this year, nor will I be sacrificing any goats, thank you, or beating any women. God forbid. But I will be eating me some chocolate. It's my ancient pagan ritual on Valentine's Day to eat chocolate. That's all. Go. Bye. Bye. Happy St. Valentine's Day. Jesus. You need to be escorted out again?